Today I'm reviewing the Silent Mix Bosch blend mixer I was sent to review by AO.com. I'll be showing you how it works with the use of my trusty Oreos that, in case you're curious, I will be using to make a Oreo cheesecake. But you won't get to see that part, just how the blender works. So it came in this box, and I've kept the box because the box has some quite useful outline as to what's inside. Comes with the blender itself. So has a juice filter and a chopper, and it has two programs, smoothie and ice crush, as well as a pulse setting, which it didn't actually indicate, but you can see there on the actual blender itself. Interestingly enough, the name of the blender is Silent Mix, so I'm assuming that it's relatively quiet in comparison to the past blenders I've had. So that's something that I'll definitely be looking at. It's quite a heavy jug as it's made from glass. So maybe not something my young ones can use, but I myself am more than comfortable. It's not too heavy. It's standard glass jug that you receive. The glass itself holds 1.5 liters of water or liquid. It's a 700 watt blender, which makes it powerful enough to crush ice if need be. I'll just put the Oreos in now and come back to show you how it works. Now you can see my Oreos have been put into the jug, and it's just left with turning it on to show you how it works. So as you can see, the dial has a minimum and maximum setting. So depending on how much you want it to work, you can use minimum or maximum, or you could just put it on. As you see, it turns red when it's on, and pick either settings depending on what you want to use. So whether it's the ice crush or the smoothie setting. However, I'm gonna put mine on medium because I kind of want it to blend the Oreos as well as possible. And let's see how quickly it takes. So, and that is that. I don't know if you could tell, but you could kind of hear my voice underneath the blender noise, which I think actually indicates that it's actually quite a quiet blender compared to other blenders where, you know, you can't have a conversation if the blender's actually working. This one was relatively quiet. At the same time, you'll see that everything's nicely crushed inside the blender and all ready to go for my cheesecake. In terms of what it came with, as I've already shown you in the box, it came with a juice filter and a chopper. But it also came with this nice manual. Looking at the manual, let me focus. You can see that, I hope you can see, there we go, that it shows you how long and what settings you should blend certain things for if you want them to be in a certain state. So for example, it has cheese on there. It's a cheese setting. If you want a cheese block to turn into 1 centimeter cubes, you can put it on for 8 to 30 seconds in the actual blender, or 7 to 15 in the chopper at the max level, which is quite nice because, you know, I don't know, if you ever wanted cheese cubes, you now know how to do that with your blender, which is quite efficient. I'm just going to now show you my favorite feature of this blender. For this part of my demonstration, I've turned the blender upside down, as I want to highlight the easy click function of the blender. Now, usually when I'm cleaning my blender, I find it a little complicated because there's a blade at the bottom and I don't want to get cut. And, you know, you've got to sort of put your hand into the bottom of the blender and reach to the bottom to make sure that the bottom's clean. However, this blender has a really nice function, which it calls the easy click knife function, which allows you to simply raise up the bottom, and upsy daisy, your blade is out, and you can wash the blender as you want, which I think is a really nifty feature. Of course, once you're done, you wash it, you can just put it back quite simply, like so, and then you're done. So I really like this blender for that reason. What don't I really love about the blender? Well, in truth, I think it's a little sticky on when you're trying to remove it from the top of the machine itself. Because it's already quite heavy, so you have to sort of give it a good twist to be able to remove the actual jug from the top of the machine. But aside from that, to be honest with you, I can't complain with this blender. I've used it in soups, and makes delicious soups. And I've also used it with ice, and it crushes the ice quite nicely. So I hope that with this review, you can see how much I really enjoy the blender. I think Bosch has done a really good job on the instruction manual, and for me, it satisfies all the purposes of the blender. I just wanted to make a quick comment about the delivery, because it was delivered by AO.com, and it was perfect because the driver called me an hour before he got here, and within so that to make sure I would be in. And once he said he'd be there in an hour, he was there about 15 minutes later. But it was really nice that he called me so that at least I could make sure I was at home, because they give like a large window, like between 12 and 4, and I could have popped to the shops or something like that in that time. So yes, good job AO.com, and good job Bosch on this blender. Bye.